What's going on, y'all? I'm here to talk about the changes I've made to Hisuian Typhlosion for my ROM hack. Before I get into explaining why, the speed is dropped, what the abilities are, what they do, and all of the crazy new moves and move effects, I want to have a disclaimer for anybody who's new here. Shout out to you. I appreciate you clicking on the video. Make sure you pause the video, read the description. I've got a bullet point list explaining all of the basics about the ROM hack and the way it's balanced. It'll answer a lot of your questions that you might have by looking at this kind of thing. And then when you're done with the video, I highly recommend you click on the Google Sheet link down below and read the move guide. There's a bunch of other important stuff on there too, but the most important thing is by far the move guide because I don't have time to get into every single move, buff, and change in the hack in every video. So I actually do have a video going over all the moves, but you don't have to watch that to understand it. I have it all organized here very easily for you to just click and go straight to that category and understand. So yeah, Hisuian Typhlosion, so I'm gonna flash regular Typhlosion on the screen right now. They will have their own separate video, unlike Samurai to Decidueye, because their changes are so much different from one another. They function so much differently. Uh, I mean, not so much differently, but fucking Samurai and Decidueye share the exact same abilities, right? They have the same abilities and similar stat distribution. Meanwhile, Typhlosion and Hisuian Typhlosion, like their typing and abilities really change the way that they play. Because in this ROM hack, every Pokemon, the main thing that differentiates how they play is their abilities and the moves, right? The stats are obviously important, but it's like people overestimate how important stats are, especially when every Pokemon is getting individual care anyways, to be cool and have fun tools and be good to use and satisfying to use. So give me 1 second, sorry, I'm trying to fix the format on whatever, nobody looks at the screen anyway. So man, I don't know why it's doing this. Whatever, I'll leave it like this. So, Hisuian Typhlosion, it's got a really cool, unique, actually a signature ability. The only other Pokemon that might have this ability is Dusknoir. I'm not positive yet. It fits Dusknoir very well, but I'm not. I probably will give it. I think I've been thinking about it more because I'm debating between a couple other abilities for their final slot still, but we'll see when I get there. When I finalize my choice. But Spirit Guide, or it's either a signature ability or it's only on Dusknoir and Hisuian Typhlosion probably. Very, very cool ability. So in an in-game context, Perish Body seems kind of mid if you know how the AI works, because the AI will switch out. Also, by the way, flavor-wise, I chose Spirit Guide because Hisuian Typhlosion is like one of the ghost types that's actually like helpful, kind of. Maybe not. If you read the decks, it's like, oh, it said to purify the lost Forsaken souls with its flames and guide them to the afterlife, right? So it guides people to the afterlife. That's why I chose Spirit Guide. And it's just really cool ability because you can switch in on a physical move, and there's so many ways you can take advantage of this. So not only can you do like eject button Spirit Guide, but the main caveat with using Perish Body, Perish Song in this ROM hack is that you have to trap the opponent. Otherwise, they will switch out on the last turn. That's like one of the few cases where the AI will actually consistently hard switch, is if it's on the last turn of Perish Song. This music is kind of loud. I also don't like it very much anymore, but whatever, I'll let it play. So yeah, essentially you have to. So for example, Hisuian Typhlosion gets 60 base power, 100% accurate Fire Spin, which I mean pretty much every special fire type gets. But you get the point is that you would use Fire Spin in conjunction with Spirit Guide, and you can also burn turns if you want to use just Hisuian Typhlosion to stall. You can burn turns with Dig or Phantom. Oh, I actually didn't give them Phantom Force, did I? I should throw on Shadow Force on Evolution, 140 power and Phantom Force too. Do that real quick. I will do this in the game files after the video. Phantom Force, Shadow Force. I'll fix the format after the video, man. Technically all the moves fit still, so not a big deal. Yeah, that's good enough. Let me make sure I don't forget. So anyways, the point is you can use both of those, any 2-turn move really. The AI won't switch out of 2-turn moves, meaning like if they have a normal type, they won't hard switch into their normal type on the second turn of Shadow Force and Phantom Force, making them essentially drawback-free moves for the player. The only drawback is that technically, like, the AI could set up during that turn if they have a setup move, but, just be smart when you use them. It's pretty much... Because the reason those moves suck in competitive is because, it gives the AI, a real human being a free turn, but the AI doesn't know how to actually abuse the free turn properly. So, yeah. Those are cool because despite only having 73 base attack at level 36, a 120 power move is very, very strong, and a 140 power move is also very strong. Phantom Force being recoil and Shadow Force being like a superpower type move that drops your attack by -2. So those are both really cool. And of course, the main benefit there is that it burns another turn for free, so you can switch in, trigger Spirit Guide, Fire Spin, then click the 2-turn move, and then they die. It's a bit... I would say that's the less good application of Spirit Guide because you have to keep in mind this only works on contact moves. Or is it physical moves or contact? I believe it's contact only. Yeah, so that's, not that good. It's good, but it's not like that good. The main benefit I would say, because it's, you get 93-80 bulk, which is good. Again, it's good, but with investment, max HP defense, it's taking physical hits very, very well, but it's not like gonna be able to 1v1 something, especially, with a decent amount of weaknesses. It's just kind of difficult to use. So I would say the main benefit is either to burn them first with something like Infernal Parade or Lava Plume, which are both guaranteed burns. Also, I didn't write that down here. Lava Plume, exclusive as well, is a guaranteed burn. So yeah, there you exclusive. Jesus, I cannot type right now. I cannot multitask at all. So yeah, Lava Plume's guaranteed burn, and Predatory is guaranteed burn. So you got 2 guaranteed burn, reliable moves there. Obviously you got your Will-O-Wisp, but that doesn't, that also works 100% accurate in this game, 2 PP. So yeah, Hisuian Typhlosion, I would say the main use of Spirit Guide is actually a eject button, and then you can use a trap move on a much bulkier Pokemon. Whirlpool, Sand Tomb, all of those moves are 100% accurate. There's a bunch of them. Vice Grip, Jaw Lock, tons of, a decent amount of Pokemon get access to trapping moves in this game. And I wouldn't say the main benefit is to trap, but this is one of the few cases where trapping the AI is actually useful. So yeah, Spirit Guide, eject button into a trapping move on a bulkier Pokemon is even better. Especially if it's a physical attacker that you're using it on, which it probably will be because the move has to be contact to trigger Spirit Guide. And logically, I just don't see anything higher than like 85 Phys Def on Typhlosion, Hisuian Typhlosion, So it doesn't really make much sense for them, for their design at all. So that's why I didn't give them a super big Phys Def stat to synergize with Spirit Guide. I don't like giving changes like that. Like, I don't like doing things just because it's good. I want it to make sense, and be good at the same time, right? So it's very strong specialty. It has hubris for that, I've been talking about fucking the most situational ability of the 3 here. Most of the time, you're probably just going to be using boring, like, hubris stuff. Scarf. So I dropped their speed because logically I just don't see them being that fast, to be honest. I just don't see it. I don't know. And I also wanted to give more stat points for bulk because they are, like, big, bear type Pokemon, right? So I like giving them a big HP stat. They're actually not that tall, especially regular Typhlosion's actually shorter, I just realized, but Hisuian is shorter, I mean, but whatever, I don't know, I like, they're like kind of fat type bear Pokemon. I think it's cool to give them a big HP, or a good HP, very good HP. I would say 70 to 80 is like solid good, and then 80 to 90 is like very good. Anything above 90 HP is very, very good in this type of context. So yeah, it's very tanky on both sides. It can also run like an Infernal Parade. It has so many good utility moves, right? Soul Absorb for healing, Morning Sun for healing, Bitter Blaze for healing. That's a 90 power heal move. I gave that super early on. So another cool thing about Hisuian Typhlosion is I gave them all of their signature moves very early on, unlike other Pokemon. I just felt like it felt kind of boring, and I don't know. It was difficult to balance all the Fire Ghost types as well. Not to mention just picking abilities for this fucking thing is like it's so little going for it, in terms of flavor. Shit like Cursed Body is not good at all. A Flame Body, that's all ass in this type of context. I don't want to encourage that at all. So I had very slim pickings for abilities. So Flash Fire is still here. It's nice to switch in. Number one, it gives you a boost. That's the most important thing. Is it gives you a special attack. It gives you a fire boost, right? But also, it's nice, like, if there's like a strong ass physical fire type move coming in, you're still going to take a lot of damage. So getting no damage from that is very nice. Like a Flare Blitz or a Blazing Assault or whatever, especially if it's like boosted by a boosting ability and it's coming off a strong Pokemon. So it's just nice to have that fire immunity once in a while, even though you do already resist fire. It is nice, situational, but it's nice. And I could not. It was difficult to find ability slots that don't overlap with the other fire ghosts and also make sense and are worth using. Spirit Guide's cool. That's why I ended up cooking so hard with Spirit Guide, because I was just thinking I had so many, like, I was considering Ruthless, but it just doesn't make sense, Because Ruthless is great. It has, like, Astral Storm and Bitter Blaze and Heat Wave and Wildfire and all these other moves that work great with Ruthless. I just don't see it, man. It's not a Ruthless Pokemon at all. It's whatever. I mean, I was gonna do it maybe because, like, haha, it's a Ghost type, I guess, but nah, I'm happy I settled on Spirit Guide. It's really cool. So yeah, it's tanky and it's fast with Scarf, so that's the thing, is 85 base speed seems middling, but in an in-game context, that's all you need. That's all you need for Scarf. Obviously, if you're faster, but if you're like anywhere between like 75, 85, 95, like it's not that big of a difference, to be honest, because you're going to be using Scarf most of the time anyway. So if you get a neutral speed nature Typhlosion, you're hitting 387 speed, which is roughly, I mean, this is a level 100, of course. I'm just trying to calculate the base speed equivalent for most of the game. Why am I putting the number so high? I cannot multitask right now. You're outspeeding 125 126 even, 126 and below Pokemon. So that's like the vast majority of the game you're outspeeding. And if you get a plus speed nature Typhlosion, you outspeed the entire game. But that's obviously only 20% of the time. And Hubris is great with Scarf. You just slap on strong move and you just spam stuff, right? So I'd say a really good application of Hubris is getting up a Toxic Spikes with one of your other Pokemon. Obviously, like a bulky Infernal Parade set is great, right? It always burns, so you can use like a bulky Bitter Blaze Infernal Parade set and 1v1 things that way, and that's great. But a very strong offensive way to abuse it is to get up a Toxic Spike with somebody else, which is pretty easy to do versus AI. And, you know, most of the time they're not going to have a poison type or a way to remove the T-Spikes because it's AI, it's in-game, right? There's no hazard remover or anything like that. So T-Spikes are up for the whole match, basically. And you can essentially click that 140 power Infernal Parade. I was actually considering nerfing Infernal Parade on Barbarage and Hex and Venoshock back to 65. Well, it wouldn't be nerfing, it would just be putting them back at 65 power. Technically, Infernal Parade and Barbarage are 60, but you get the point. I would put them to 65 because I'm not going to lie, T-Spikes is pretty free. But I think I'm going to leave them at 70 for now, and then in a future patch, once the game is out, I'll drop them to 65 because my intuition tells me it'll be too strong, but you know, maybe it'll be fun to mess around with for a little bit and then nerf them. But you know, they could be 65. Regardless if it's 130 or 140 power, it's both very strong anyway. Even 120 power is still very strong for no drawbacks, right? The only other moves that are that strong have drawbacks for the most part. So yeah, you click Infernal Parade with Hubris is my point. You get T-Spikes up, you have a 140 power move, and you can just spam that. You can just spam Hubris, Scarf, Infernal Parade, and that's very, very strong. And of course, you've got like Fire, Flamethrower, Heat Wave for consistent fire moves. All your other stuff is drawback much. So like Overheat gives you recoil. Wildfire can't be used twice in a row. Same with Astral Storm. Those are the same move. They're Wicked Blow variants, special versions. Burn Up is really sick on Typhlosion, especially with Spirit Guide. You could cook with like Burn Up, Quick Claw, Spirit Guide, Fire Spin, shit. You could totally cook with that. That's super cool because Burn Up always burns and it removes your fire type, so you become Pure Ghost. But yeah, Burn Up is super strong. Blast Burn's even stronger. That is essentially fire type. It's what Overheat used to do, right? It's fire type Draco Meteor. So those are really cool. Another big benefit of Hubris is Flame Wheel. It's even better on Typhlosion, but on Hisuian Typhlosion, you can still use Flame Wheel to give you +1 speed. You've also got Trailblaze, but Flame Wheel is obviously even stronger. It's 90 power with Stab versus 60 without, with 50 power from Trailblaze. So yeah, almost double the power of Trailblaze. And so you can use it to finish off a weakened Pokemon and then get +1 speed, and then you can kind of sweep with Hubris that way. The only things that'll really stop you are like faster Pokemon, which is not very common once you have that +1 speed from Scarf or a speed boosting move and all that other stuff. So yeah, the main thing I'll stop you is like Quick Claw, which even then you could cheese that with an Ignite or a Spook, 2 priority moves there. If you have like, for example, say you get like 2 or 3 Hubris boosts, right? Now you're +3, and then the Quick Claw Pokemon comes in, and say it happens to be weak to Fire or Ghost, or even neutral to Fire or Ghost and be frail, you can one-shot them with that +3, +2, whatever priority move. So you can cook with Hubris for sure. It's definitely a bit of a, I mean, any ability like that is kind of broken with Move Relearner. It's pretty easy to position yourself to get a couple kills at least pretty easily. But yeah, it fits. I mean, you know, it just fits their vibe of the ghostly vibe. Same with Typhlosion, Hubris. I mean, it just fits the vibe. More so regular Typhlosion, but I don't know. They got like that little face going on there. Hubris makes sense to me. So yeah, that's really it. A couple other small things I could touch on. Tons of coverage here. You know, you got Moonblast, Eternal Beam, Aura Sphere, Psychic, all this other, you know, good coverage that you can teach once in a while. Even stuff like Terrain Pulse, Weather Ball, Energy Ball, all types of stuff. So, Scorching Sands, You guys get the idea. Bursting Flames is also good with Hubris. That's a sash breaking move, 75 power. So that's good if you need to like kill something with a sash with Hubris to continue your, you know, snowball. So that's fun. Eruption is obviously incredibly strong. That's why it's at the very end of the game, because Eruption Hubris is just kind of brainless. You pivot in. Number one, you have 2 immunities, 3 with Flash Fire. Get it in for free, or you can just use one of your switch moves on their other Pokemon, right? Or eject button, get in your Typhlosion, and then just Scarf Eruption and just kind of go crazy. You know, you're getting kills easily. Even unresisted hits will die after like +1, +2. So, yeah. Again, the only things that'll stop you are Quick Claw, Priority, stuff like that. So yeah, thanks for listening. Let me know if you made it to the end of the video. I appreciate it if you did. There's a couple other small things I could touch on, but I trust you guys are able to, you know, read for yourselves and see how things work. And then I encourage you to check out the Typhlosion video later and all my other videos. If you made it to the end of the video, leave a comment. It really does help with the algorithm. Seriously, drop a comment. Appreciate you if you do. And I'll be back for more coming up, y'all. Peace.